The only thing that we're interested in is putting money in your wallet. If you want to bet the fights, if you want to have a little bit of action, you are in the right place. With my partner, Ian Parker, I am Brett Okamoto.
We're ready to rock between our parlays, our props, our straight picks. It's time to make money. Let's go.
For the first time in 5 years, the UFC is in Edmonton, Canada, with a flyweight main event between Brandon Moreno and Amir Albazi. It is UFC Fight Night, and this program is UFC Best Bets, where we talk about it all from a gambling perspective. Really, really awesome, actually, main card to discuss here on this UFC Fight Night this Saturday. Hello, everybody. Brett Okamoto alongside Ian Parker, which you can tell it's Halloween, it's fall, the temperature's dropping, and so Ian's got that fall beard going very strong. The beard is strong. Were we strong at the window last week at UFC 308 there in Abu Dhabi, Ian?
I wasn't aware my beard was stronger than usual. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, we had some bad luck last week. We started off good with Magomedov. Then, we go to the co-main event. Over 2.5 just didn't work. Chimaev ran through Whitaker. To win over 1.5 rounds for both Oralby and Neal. RDA popped his knee. Oralby lost a split decision. Main event we hit. It was Topuria to win by TK or KO, which he did, or Holloway by decision. And the rest of the night, 1-for-1 with our props, missed on the parlay. Not my best, but we got the beauty about this spread is every week we got another chance to make some money. Let's go.
We sure do, and I said it's an awesome main card. Here it is. Take a look at it. It starts at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. You can find it on ESPN Plus. Brandon Moreno, Amir Albazi, Erin Blanchfield, Rose Namajunas. That is as good as it gets for a fight night when you're talking about main and co-main. And then you also got Derek Lewis, who's a fan favorite. This card. So we'll be talking about all of these fights. Odds presented to you by ESPN BET. And let's talk about Brandon Moreno, man. 30 years old. He's coming off back-to-back split decision losses. He was a 3-1 betting favorite on his last one against Brandon Royval. Did not get the job done. Said he needed to take a little bit of time off. It wasn't that long of a time off. 10-month layoff here coming in against Amir Albazi, who is on a 6-fight win streak and looks like a new up-and-comer. Does Albazi get the job done here, or are we going with a familiar face in Brandon Moreno, minus 175?
I'm going with Brandon Moreno here. I think he should be a bigger favorite. What's interesting to me is Albazi's been out since, I think, about 1.5 years. He had heart surgery. He was having issues with numbness in his left arm. And Brett, to be very honest, we had Albazi when he fought Kai Kara France. I thought he lost that fight, but he won by split decision. For Brandon Moreno here, it's keep the fight on the feet. Albazi is very good at grappling, and it's not that Moreno's not. That's just where Albazi is at his best. I think if Moreno is able to keep this fight at range, make it a kickboxing fight, keep it on the feet, we're looking at a 5-round win. Taking a step further, Moreno probably by decision here. I like that you pointed out his last 2 fights, right? The Pantoja fight, he lost by split. I thought he unanimously lost that. Fast forward to the Royval fight, I thought he won that fight. But the point is, he is still keeping it close. He's competing with the elite. Albazi has not fought someone like Moreno yet. He hasn't fought the top guys. I think Kai Kara France is right there breaking through now. But for me, Brandon Moreno minus 175 all day and twice on Sunday.
All right, so you're taking minus 175. You can look at the methods of victory there, but it sounds like you're pretty happy with the minus 175. Do any of those methods interest you at all? And by the way, as a follow-up question, where should this line be at? If it's minus 175 and you think you're pretty confident in taking it, where did you have this line pegged before you saw it?
It's a great question. I thought it was going to be on minus 225. Even though Moreno's coming off back-to-back losses, Albazi just has not been active. He's been out for quite some time with a pretty significant surgery, especially when you're talking about the heart and issues with his left arm. To answer your other question, if you're going to go method of victory here, I think Moreno would get it done by decision. You got a nice plus 145 there. He's got to get a win here. If he wants to get back to that title, it can't be 3 losses in a row for him.
Well, hey, man, if you really think it's that strong of a bet for Brandon Moreno, maybe you don't get greedy with method of victory here. Maybe you just stick with Moreno, the side, minus 175. Let's go to this excellent co-main event at the UFC Fight Night. Erin Blanchfield, 25 years old. She lost to Manon Fiorot. That fight may have propelled her to a title fight, but maybe it's not the worst thing that she lost it. She gets to get a little bit more experience before making her way to a championship fight. But it comes against Rose Namajunas, who has seemed to settle in at 125 pounds. Blanchfield, the small favorite here. What do you got on this fight?
The odds should be flipped here, in my opinion. I don't think Blanchfield should be the favorite because we all know what's her way to win. She's got to out-grapple Rose, take her down, and hold her down for 5 rounds. We just saw against Manon Fiorot. If she can't get the fight to the floor and she's forced to stand, she's not winning. Rose is a very good striker, very good at kickboxing, got really good takedown defense, and I think her physical strength works well at this weight class. The blueprint's there. Manfior put it out there. Manfior is definitely physically one of those more stronger athletes in the division, but for Rose, keep the fight on the feet, and I believe she gets it done, and we're getting plus money. Give me Rose Namajunas to get it done.
All right, so we're taking the underdog there, Rose Namajunas, and pretty strong words there saying that the odds should be flipped, that she should be a minus 130 favorite. So two very strong opinions on the main and co-main. I love hearing that. Let's move on to the rest of this six-fight main card on ESPN Plus. Derek Lewis, he comes in as a small underdog, plus 140 against Yonata Yaniz. And you like Yaniz via KO or TKO.
I do here. Unless Derek Lewis turns into Derek Nurmagomedov, he's going to have problems here. I think Denise, we've seen him be out-wrestled, come back and win. He's on the feet, the calf kicks, the striking. Give me Denise, and by TKO, KO.
All right, from there we go to 205. It's Caio Machado taking on Brenson Ribeiro, and you like Machado here at minus 160.
I do. Machado looks really good at this weight class. I think his striking is good enough. I think he can even take this fight to the floor. Ribeiro, 2 losses in a row and coming off a knockout loss. Give me Machado to get it done here.
All right, and then middleweight, you got Marc-Andre Barriault, Dustin Stoltzfus, 2 veterans here. Another underdog pick here on this main card is Stoltzfus.
I don't like both guys coming off knockout losses here. Barriault's way too hesitant. We've seen Stoltzfus fight better competition. If he's aggressive, he can get the win. I believe this is a dog or pass play here.
And to take us home, it's Mike Malott taking on Trevin Giles, plus 215 for Giles. Mike Malott minus 265.
You know what? I like over 1.5 rounds here. I think it's a little sneaky. I think Malott's going to pace himself differently. I think he also is the better fighter, but Giles is good in round 1 against Carlos Freight. He had success. However, this has got to be Malott's win. He's at home. And Brett, I'll take it a step further. Long shot prop of the night. Malott to get TKO or KO win in round 2.
Well, there you go. I mean, what a segue you're teeing me up there for. You got your long shot prop there as the first fight of the main card, but you've got 2 more props for us on the prelims. So give us your props for the UFC Fight Night prelims there in Edmonton.
I really love these 2 props. One's going to be Youssef Zalal winning by decision against Jack Shore. I know Zalal's got 2 submission wins in his last 2 fights. Jack Shore, very defensively sound with jiu-jitsu. I just think for Zalal, this is a bigger name that he's got to get it done. Jack Shore, defensively sound. So we're going to go by decision there. Jasmine Jasavicius, she's got a good fighter she's going up against. Also defensively sound, but she's looked like an absolute wrecking machine when she gets the fight to the floor. She's just not much of a finisher. So both of these fighters to win by decision.
Okay, so 2 little bonus there, props by method on the prelims. But let's go through all of your prelim picks, and you can find all the prelims, as usual, on ESPN Plus. Take us through your prelim picks for this Saturday.
Let me get Zahabi over Pedro Munoz. This to me feels like the Kyler Phillips fight against Munoz. It's that litmus test. And with Zahabi getting that win over Balsharat, I'm high on him. Let's get him to get it done here. Another underdog. Give me Victor Henry over Charles Jourdain. Jourdain's coming off another loss. And it's a knockout not too long ago, and I don't like him cutting down in weight. I think Henry gets it done. Let's go Nascimento over Romanov. I don't believe in Romanov anymore. Completely fading him. I think he's a mess. Cardio is terrible. Next fight, T.D. and Armfield over 2.5 rounds. We're going to also go Cody Gibson fighting a very similar opponent in Eingler compared to Brian Kelleher. Stature and skills. Last but not least, we're going to go with North, but that line is high. Keep an eye out for the decision prop when it comes out.
I gotta tell you, Ian Parker always comes in with confidence. The man is oozing confidence about this card. I got good feelings going into Edmonton. How about Parker's parlay for the UFC Fight Night?
Parker's parlay, unfortunately, has not hit in the last 2 weeks after going on a 4-win streak, but this is the week we get it back. Give me Malott, give me Jasavicius, give me Zalal, all money line at plus 153. Let's go.
So there's your 3-teamer for Parker's parlay. How about the long shot parlay to get us some great odds there at the window?
We're going to go Yonata Denise to beat Derek Lewis by KO or TKO in round 2. I think the calf kicks and the leg kicks are going to take a tall Lewis. Round 2, he goes down. Zahabi by decision, Henry by decision. We're getting a nice, healthy number there. I would love to hit the long shot this week.
Oh, yeah. Taking a shot at 31-1 on that 3-teamer. And last but not least, of course, Parker's best bets for UFC Fight Night.
Let's go main event, Brandon Moreno. That line makes no sense to me. People may think he's on the decline. I don't believe that at all. I just think this division is that good. Give me Rose Namajunas at plus 110. The blueprint is there. Keep the fight on the feet. Easier said than done, I'm sure, but with 5 rounds, I think she'll get a decision victory there. Machado over Ribeiro, Zahabi over Munoz. I'm going Nascimento here. I think he's able to keep this fight on the feet. If he gets out of round 1, Romanov has no cardio. The stand-up is very weak. The wrestling is too predictable. This guy's a black belt jiu-jitsu, black belt Muay Thai. And last but not least, Cody Gibson. I wouldn't go any higher, but I think he gets it done over his opponent. Let's go.
Man, there's a lot to look forward to here on this UFC Fight Night card. The prelims are at 5 Eastern. The main card is at 8 Eastern. You can find it all on ESPN+. We are going to see what Brandon Moreno has going, coming off of a 2-fight losing streak as a small favorite in that flyweight main event. And then Rose Namajunas taking on Erin Blanchfield. Love that fight as well. Thanks for tuning in to UFC Best Bets. We will see you next week for yet another edition on that UFC Fight Night card as well. Take care.